Welcome to Tech Intersect. I'm your host, Tanya Evans, and my life and work exist at the heart of law, business, and technology. Yeah, I've earned a few fancy titles and degrees over the years, but the bottom line is I'm a writer, speaker, teacher, and lifelong learner, and I'm really excited that you've joined me on this journey. So what is Tech Intersect? Well, it's authentic, empowering conversations with really interesting guests to demystify complex topics to prepare you for the future. Because your future is now. And it exists where law, business, and tech intersect. Get ready to listen, learn, and leverage. Let's get started. In this episode of Tech Intersect, I speak with Ram Katamaraja, founder and CEO of Colaberry. Ram is a tech entrepreneur committed to leveraging technology and education in preparing the workforce of the future. In 2012, he founded Colaberry while on a mission to help United States veterans to transition into rewarding civilian careers. And under his leadership, Colaberry grew into an Inc. 5000 company that now serves individuals from all backgrounds in pursuit of data careers, as well as enterprises in need of data talent and reskilling and upskilling workforce solutions. Colaberry has helped thousands of individuals from over 45 countries to transition into data analytics and data science jobs. In 2020, Course Report selected Colaberry training as one of the best data science bootcamps of the year. And also, Inc. 5000 recognized Colaberry as one of the fastest growing privately owned companies in the United States. Ram regularly presents at Work of the Future events and has spoken at the United Nations, World Bank, Harvard Business School, and MIT. And we're lucky to have him on the show for this particular episode. So now it's time to listen, learn, and leverage. Let's get started. In this episode of Tech Intersect, I welcome Ram Katamaraja, founder and CEO of Colaberry and also Refactored. Ram is a tech entrepreneur committed to leveraging technology and education in preparing the workforce of the future. And you know, on Tech Intersect, I am always talking about the future of money and entrepreneurship and work. And that's why it's one of many reasons that I'm excited to introduce you all to Ram and to Colaberry. In 2012, he founded Colaberry while on a mission to help United States veterans to transition into rewarding civilian careers. My father is former lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, and I have a deep love and abide for all who serve. So I love that in this particular background. And under Ram's leadership, Colaberry grew into an Inc. 5000 company that now serves individuals from all backgrounds in pursuit of data careers, as well as enterprises in need of data talent for reskilling and upskilling workforce solutions. We'll talk about all of that and more in a moment, but first, Ram, welcome.
Thank you, Professor Evans. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Excellent. And before we dive in, I want to do a quick check-in with you. This has been a particularly trying year for everyone, the pandemic, the civil unrest, the economic strife, and in particular, and something that you focus on so much, helping people reskill and find careers in the midst of so much uncertainty. I'm just wondering how you have been able to navigate that.
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. When pandemic hit, it was like the rest of the world, we didn't know like really what to do. And we didn't know like what's going to happen, whether we would survive. But the interesting thing was, as a business and as an organization, we were looking forward to a world like this where almost everything would be working from home or working remote. and it's like the future is here, like it's suddenly future forward. So it also presented as an opportunity for me as well as the entire team to figure out how do we operate in this future that we have been advocating would come in the next decade. So yeah, I mean it's an interesting journey. Thankfully, as of now, we were able to fully move our operations remotely and survive the pandemic, and Again, in between, we received this Inc. 5000 award, so which was like
Yes.
great. uh,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. And we are bruised, but we are up and running and looking forward for a better 2021.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so glad, it was so difficult for so many to be able to pivot and to think, think about it professionally, you have a responsibility, but then to also personally. And I know professionally at the time when it first hit, I was the associate dean of a law school and had to manage it, but I also am a human being who has to manage my own life and my own family. So I'm glad that you and yours are well. You mentioned something that I want to focus on at first, kind of a broad brush of this idea of the future of work. We'll get to how education is changing the nature of work and how you are helping folks to reskill and pivot in a moment. But just in general, what does that term mean to you, the future of work?
The term future of work could be interpreted in various ways for various people. From my perspective, there is automation of everything that we are doing, and
Mm-hmm.
we become like more and more productive. Like a lot of types of tasks and work that is now done by humans will be automated, and there would be less and less work that needs to be done by humans. And at the same time, the automation and robots kind of becomes part of your work. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of conversation about inclusivity, more how humans can work with machines. But for me, the even more important question is for businesses and organizations and leaders to ask how we are going to create inclusive environments in the future of work when a lot of work gets automated, and primarily the low skilled jobs get automated and they are never going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do? The future of work for me is really about answering that question of inclusivity of various people with like various skills, low skill, high
Mm-hmm.
skills, as well as inclusivity with the automation, which we cannot avoid. How do we bring all these things together?
Right. That's a really important point because anything that can be automated will be. And that is a fundamental shift. So when we think about this next industrial revolution, to think about how everyone, regardless of your background and experience, can participate meaningfully, taking care of a family in one generation, but also as a matter of generational wealth and acquired skills. And obviously, we're living a lot longer. And, long time ago, if you had a family of 11 on a farm and the average age was 42, that's one thing. But
Yeah,
my grandmother lived to be 103. God bless her soul, and
yeah,
had all of her full faculties. She's the only person I know who's ever just died of old age. And so, what does that mean in terms of individuals interacting with in a meaningful way all of the Web3 technologies that are forcing automation from artificial intelligence and also what you said now that I've said artificial intelligence is what it means. What does inclusion look like when you're focused on technology? And that has been a major topic of conversation. I don't have any great answers, but I know that the decisions that go into how software functions and how it codes is the next wave, I believe, of inclusion that we have to take a close look at. Because, and you might agree that in most instances, we think of technology as purely a tool, agnostic, but it's built by people. And are we intentionally or unintentionally, more likely the case in many instances, kind of codifying some of the systemic issues that keep people marginalized? So that might be an issue when we're helping people to reskill and upskill too for this specific type of technology.
You love listening to podcasts, but have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? Maybe you want to build a brand, grow your business, or are looking for an excuse to talk about your favorite hobby. Whatever your reason for making a podcast, Buzzsprout is the place to start. Since 2009, Buzzsprout has helped over 300,000 people launch their own podcasts. Buzzsprout walks you step by step through the whole process and will give you powerful tools to start, grow, and monetize your podcast. Ready to get started? Click the link in the show notes to get our free step-by-step guide to starting your podcast today.
Absolutely. So I would look at technology as power now rather than a tool. Uh,
Mm,
prior to this, when technology revolution like started happening, people talked about information is power, right?
mm,
So now everybody has information, and technology enabled that information to be available with everyone. Now the technology is becoming powerful because technology is starting to make the decisions.
mm,
So the artificial intelligence is allowing this technology and tools become more intelligent, make decisions for us, and probably define how we live and how we survive in this world. So as it is becoming powerful, one key thing that troubles me is this: the technology that is being put together and and the intelligence that it is fed, which allows it to to become artificial intelligent and decision making tool or power, whatever you want to call it.
mm,
That decision making algorithms, right? They are
mhm,
done by very narrow demographic of intellectuals. That's not how society works.
mhm.
Right? The society is like nature, built with efficiencies and built with redundancies, and that's what that makes it function well and function to its maximum capacity. But when we are
Right.
looking at technology and artificial intelligence, we approach it with where we approach it. Our typical approach is the idea of, okay, this has to be highly efficient and it has to meet a certain set of rules.
Mhm,
But this highly but this highly efficient is very opinionated, right? What is
mm,
efficient in one case may not be efficient in other case, and also a set of rules. Those rules may be efficient in one case and may not be efficient in one case.
mhm,
Uh, and then when the artificial intelligence start making the decisions, it learns on its own and it starts making its own decisions, and there needs to be rules around it, right?
mhm.
And who defines those rules? If these rules are defined by a narrow set of people, that creates like a completely biased future. uh,
Right.
and if we let the artificial intelligence define its own rules, it creates like complete havoc. We have seen, I mean, there are examples of big organizations like Google and
Mm,
Facebook and Microsoft shutting down the artificial intelligence when they let it make its own decisions, and it just goes haywire, right? So
mm,
in the midst of all this chaos, the most important piece is we humans with various characteristics, various thought processes, various demographics, all of us should have the opportunity to contribute for the evolution of this artificial intelligence, or for controlling it, or for making sure it is included in our lives in the right way. And
right.
when we don't pay attention, and we don't pay attention, or when we don't in, this thing can be done only through intention. It has to be a very intentional approach, where the inclusivity of various people, right? Various
Mhm,
people, and the representation of people in developing this automation or algorithms or AI into the future.
mhm,
Without that, we don't know what world we would live in. It's definitely going to be a new world, but we don't know how it's going to be, and we don't know how we need to make the rules of the new world. So it's
mhm,
really important for us to make sure when we enter the future of work is not just inclusion of automation, but it's an inclusion of automation, and everyone this society, we as a society and a world represents.
Well said. Thank you. That's really wonderful. And I wholeheartedly agree with you as I think about these new rules for a new world and whatever this is going to be for the quote unquote future of work. And that leads me to want to know more and share more with my listeners about Colaberry. So you describe it, or it is described as a social enterprise dedicated to providing pathways to well paid jobs and rewarding careers. So, talk to us more about what Colaberry is, some of the specific tools or strategies that you use in order to empower people in the way that you describe.
Absolutely. I mean, we are trying to make a dent in the best possible way with the resources that we have. And the way we want to make that dent is to provide opportunities for people who are probably historically opportunities are denied, are in the current time where they don't have the opportunity pathways into good paying jobs. So
Hmm.
and again, what for us, good paying jobs is really really important, because good paying jobs provides economic and social mobility, right? So when there is an economic and social mobility, that creates a healthier person, a healthier family, better opportunity for the kids, and a better community. So it's a lot more important for us to provide the opportunities into good paying jobs. And we
Hmm.
as a company, what we see, one sliver of many good paying jobs that are out there is jobs that require data skills
Hmm.
and human skills, right? So, and when we say jobs that require data skills and human skills, right now in the world, the data is getting created every minute. More and more data is getting created than the previous minute. So it's
Absolutely.
yeah. But what that means is, in future, and even that future is now, every person required to be data literate, meaning how to handle the data and how to work with the data. Just about 20 years ago, if you needed a good paying job, you needed computer literacy. So into the future, at least in the near future, for the next decade or so, you must be data literate and have the capability to work with data to have a good paying job. So that's how we look at it. And as part of our training programs and processes, we empower people by providing them by providing them tools, technologies, and expertise of how to analyze data and how to process data and how to make projections with data and how to tell
Hmm.
stories with data. So this is one aspect that we kind of use. And then when we are talking about human skills, which is a very important aspect, where the aspect of like data and data literacy falls into more technology, right? I was
Hmm.
telling before, technology is the new power. And what we are trying to do is, because as part of our work, we help people move from any job that could be getting automated. It could be like, let's say, customer service person, or it could be a barista, or it could be I don't, like a Uber driver, probably getting automated, right? So
Right.
anyone who have certain skills, right? Who are in certain jobs, we help them have a skill mobilities, meaning they can take their existing skills and move into these new tech jobs.
Hmm.
The beauty of the jobs that require data skills is, for someone to be highly productive and highly functional, they need tech skills and they need the business skills. They need to understand the domain so that they can make better decisions, right?
Right.
So it's not like coding, right? If you coding is pretty abstract, you are like trying to solve a problem, but data is more for decision making. You can't
Mm.
make better decisions unless you understand the context, unless you understand the business, unless you understand what data is telling you. So the outcome of our work is we are able to take people with these skills of the society of life, and they probably gained soft skills, human skills, or like just hustling skills a lot of times, just trying to get by. And
Right.
we are empowering them with the tech tools, where so now so now we provide the mobility of these their existing skills along with the tech skills, and they go become part of these tech organizations and start like making their mark through different perspectives, right? Not just they're probably sitting with a few tech people. Now they are bringing the lessons of life uh,
Mm-hmm.
to that team, and the team now starts making more rational and better decisions. That's the path that we are going after, like trying to make a dent in the idea of, okay, how can we create more inclusivity, and how can we empower more people move into good paying jobs.
If you're an engineer or a scientist, you love Formula One, you love cycling, you love learning about how new technologies are changing the world around us, then I thought you may want to listen into my new podcast, the Neil Ashton Podcast. We talk to leading engineers and scientists from around the world, hear about their life stories, hear about new technologies, and hopefully educate you and give you a better sense of how key things like machine learning, artificial intelligence, supercomputing are changing the world around us. If that sounds like it's something you might like, you should come and have a listen.
We hope you're enjoying this edition of Tech Intersect. Our conversation will continue in a moment, but first, a word on an exciting opportunity.
There's a more cost-effective and time-efficient way to reach your leading-edge learning and earning goals, to put you ahead of the stiff competition in this fast-paced, tech-driven economy. You need skills, credentials, and a fast track to a competitive advantage. You need it now more than ever, and I can help. The Advantage Evans method puts you ahead of the curve with condensed, comprehensive online courses, curated content to leverage your current skills and expertise, live coaching, networking opportunities, and more. Upcoming courses include From Cash to Crypto to help you buy your first Bitcoin, and there are 2 ways to get your advantage. Advantage Evans Encore gives you maximum experience for your total competitive advantage and access for 1 year. It includes a live welcome and modules on terminology, buying and selling, exchanges, mining, earning crypto, trading and investing, and also several of the legal issues you need to know in order to be safe and secure as you enter this space. That includes tax compliance, how to plan for a Bitcoin estate, and securities laws to make sure you avoid any legal unforced errors. Now, Advantage Core gives you the essentials. It's a short course to give you what you want and the support you need to buy your first crypto in as little as 3 weeks, with access to the information and replays for 3 months. And if you're not quite ready for your Advantage and want a sneak peek to try before you buy, then register for a free masterclass where I share my Crypto 101 success checklist and cover current hot topics in crypto. So there truly is something for everyone, including you, to get in on the fast track and learn and earn in the digital economy. Visit AdvantageEvans.com to get started. That's AdvantageEvans.com.
And now, back to the conversation.
That is critically important. And as you were describing that, it made me think of the full circle of an ecosystem of work. That's what keeps coming to mind as we focus so much on individuals. I know that you connect with enterprises as well. And I'm wondering how enterprises can prepare their organizations for the upskilling and reskilling that is required for an existing workforce.
Yeah, it's in a way, enterprises are in a tough spot. On one,
Right.
basically they are trying to their primary responsibility is the shareholders and bottom line, right? They're like, oh yeah,
Right.
automation, great, we can increase the efficiency and lay off tons of people.
Right.
What they also need to understand is the people are their assets. When they transition into the future of automation, the decision makings which becomes critical, it involves humans, and humans with the domain knowledge, with the expertise that they have. So for enterprises, it's a lot more important to think about not just the automation, but think about how to really provide pathways for their current workforce to survive and thrive in this digital transformation that's happening across the industry. So I would say one interesting example can be looked at AT&T. What they did is they provided information about the jobs that are going to go away in next 5 years, and
Mm-hmm.
jobs that could potentially come up in next 5 years, and
Mm-hmm.
provided a whole bunch of tools and resources for their employees to go and prepare for this the future jobs that would be coming in. So that's a fantastic way of creating, like, what you call, like, the transparency for the employees and empowering them, that they need to go and get skilled. But one small, probably important piece to keep in mind is, are these organizations providing the time,
Mm-hmm.
the time for people to upskill, right? So most of the times, the people who get impacted are low paid and low skilled people, right? And
Right.
they probably don't have a lot of time after the work, because probably they have a working in a second job, right?
Right.
To make the ends meet. So now that the enterprises have to kind of understand and put resources in place, so that they are not one, they should make it transparent, and the other, they
Mm-hmm.
also need to provide resources as part of their work, so that they can upskill, reskill themselves, and be ready to work in the future, how, in whatever way that particular organization is evolving. If it's they need to very consciously make this investment in their employees, because they are going to be their best assets.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. That is a really great explanation and way to think of it in a number of ways. Enterprises on one hand with the bottom line and shareholders, but ultimately, if you don't have workers and a workforce, you have nothing. And so finding that balance that makes sure that the efficiency and the productivity does not give way to an ailing workforce or one that is diminished. Everybody has to be moving in the same direction to really be successful, both at the enterprise level and at the individual's level. I know that you have some data science and analytics tech training courses. And talk a little bit about that. I know that you have an offer for listeners as well, but what are those specific data science and analytics tech training courses?
Yeah, absolutely. So before I get into that, I would like to point out to, like, one more interesting example that I came across when in some of my conversations with some executives on Wall Street, right? So
Mm,
you are into the money side of things, so this example could be interesting. So
excellent.
one of the questions that came in our discussion, in this future of work, if people doesn't have jobs, who is going to pay the mortgages?
Hmm.
Right? So if people don't pay mortgages, the entire economic system collapses, right?
Absolutely.
So it's in the best interest of not it's the best interest of the society to have these policies and investments that go into upskilling and reskilling people, so that they have jobs in the future. They are able, that to good paying jobs, so that our economy can function in a great way, and everybody is happy. uh, so,
Absolutely.
so yeah, so it was an interesting conversation for me, that Wall Street companies and executives are thinking that way, which I did not see it before. Okay, it's in the having a workforce, well-paid workforce, is in the best interest of not just the worker and the worker's family, but also in the interest of the entire economy. Now,
Absolutely. It's an ecosystem.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So now, coming to our programs, about the training programs, we offer multi-level training programs. At the foundational level, we offer data analytics program. This data analytics program, we offer it to anybody as long as you know how to work with a computer and
Mhm.
how to just like browse, go, and you are good, we can bring you in. And the way we train is with the assumption that you don't understand any technology, and we start from scratch, like starting almost from digital literacy, then data literacy, and in about 3 to 6 months time frame, depending upon the amount of time that you would spend, you we would make you into a a person who can very easily work with data, manage data, parse data, do reporting, and get you ready into various types of jobs that require data skills. It could be a
Mhm.
report developer, or it could be a data engineer, or it could be a marketing analyst, or it could be uh, a ETL developer. So various types of roles that are available in the industry. So that's the data analytics program.
Mhm.
And then after that, we have the tier two programs where we offer them in niche technologies such as Tableau, Power BI,
Mhm.
Python type of tools. So these tools allow you to grow in your career in the data industry to the next level. And then the third type of program that we offer is data science programs. Data science programs are more complex, involves like math and science and statistics, and these are offered to people with some tech background, or people with background in STEM,
Mhm.
and interested in transitioning. And another interesting demographics that we have seen is people with advanced degrees, not necessarily in STEM. They could be in
Mhm.
literature, they could be in like anything. So they could learn the data science tools and techniques and transition into data science careers. It's really important for people of various thought processes to move into this industry and make develop these new algorithms, and or at least influence them,
Right.
and how these are done. So we offer like all these three levels. So what data analytics, advanced data analytics, and data science programs. And we also have self-learning platforms where you can go and like learn machine learning, artificial intelligence type of things. That's Those programs are available in Refactored AI. But wherever you are, we welcome you to come. But my heart is more helping people who doesn't know what data analytics or anything is. We want to
Right.
actually empower them and help them move into good paying jobs. And as I'm happy to announce that we will give 10% off of our training programs. All they have to do is use the code Colaberry for Evans. Uh,
Mhm.
it's Colaberry for Evans. The for is like number four, Colaberry, number four,
Mhm.
Evans, Evans. And they could go to our website, colaberry.com, and sign up, and somebody will connect with you. You could also email support@colaberry.com, and somebody from our support team will connect with you and help you out. And we really enjoy the idea of hand holding someone through the entire path and see them transition into a good paying job. So that's the prize for us. And when they transition into the good paying jobs, we know within 2 to 3 years they start making potentially six digit salaries. Sometimes
Right.
it might take like five years, but it's a path for successful career. It's a path to make good money, and it's a path not only to have a comfortable life for yourself, but for your family and your kids and probably your community. We have a ton of people where somebody joins and then their spouse joins, or their
Mm.
but our significant others are like brothers, sisters. So it's
Right.
people see the success and people see the possibility and they join and like just work and just work to get into a good paying career. But one caution: this is not easy. That it, not it's like nothing in this world that is worthwhile is easy, right? So it's
Hmm.
kind of like that. It's a tough program, takes a lot of effort and a lot of persistence, and
Hmm.
but we created the pathways into this market where there are millions of jobs out there, and anybody with the right attitude and the capability to work hard can learn the skills and transition.
It's so powerful because when you create those pathways and opportunities for everyone, not just the few, but the collective, the one has that exponential impact of family and business and community, and ultimately and obviously the global community. We are living in, this borderless global economy, but underneath it all is community and interconnectedness, and we see that now more than ever. So that means that the work that you're doing is invaluable. I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad that we connected, and I look forward to staying connected and doing this work together. For my listeners, I will drop all of the links that were mentioned and the code in the show notes, and strongly encourage you to move forward and take advantage of this exciting opportunity, because we're planting the seeds of our future today. And it starts with these skills, not just on the tech side, but the human side. But again, they're all connected. So, Ram, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Evans. It's a pleasure.
Wow, I really, really enjoyed this conversation with Ram about the new rules for a new world and future of work, and also the importance of empowering those historically disenfranchised to prepare them for meaningful work and careers in a tech and data driven global economy. And also why a collective and concerted commitment to providing pathways to well paying jobs and rewarding careers changes lives. It changes families and communities, and therefore the world. The Colaberry Data Science and Analytics Tech training courses are perfect for new entrants into tech and data sciences and those looking to pivot and upskill in this fast paced, tech driven world. So let's take Ram up on his offer. Visit colaberry.com to sign up, and be sure to use code Colaberry4Evans. That's Colaberry number 4 Evans for 10% off of your enrollment. It's all about skills and credentials in 2021 and beyond. The goal is economic and social mobility and making each generation better, healthier, more productive than the generation before. It takes a village, but it starts with you. So let's prepare for the future, for your future today. Final housekeeping notes. Please take a moment to like, comment, and share this episode and this podcast with your networks. Follow me on social medias and let me know what topics you'd like to hear more of and who you'd like to hear more from. All right, that's all for this episode. Until next time, continue to shine.
Stay in touch with host Tanya Evans via your favorite social media. On Twitter at Tech Intersect, and on Instagram via the handle Tech Intersect. This podcast has been produced by Stephanie Renee for Soul Sanctuary Incorporated.